It's Elisa, the Half Asian Tarot Queen, reminding you that this month, the month of April, we're featuring this Mystical Shaman Oracle in every reading. And I love this deck. It's really great. And one lucky subscriber is going to win it at the end of the month. I'm going to draw a name out of the hat from the subscribers. So I want to note that if your privacy settings don't allow me to be aware of your subscribership, like I won't be able to know, so I won't be able to enter you. But otherwise, if you're a subscriber, you're automatically entered. All you have to do is click the subscribe button at the end of the reading to enter. And that's it. It's pretty easy. And there's not a lot of subscribers at this point, so the odds are really, really, really good that you could win. And this is a really wonderful, wise deck, which I really love. So anyways, I'm going to pull a couple cards from this to get some general energies for the reading. And okay, so this is cool. We got corn, many paths, and taming the wind. So, okay, so corn, this is a card of abundance and harvest and like things coming to fruition. So this is a really good auspicious card. Yeah, because it's kind of like the end of the season when you're like harvesting and you kind of come into your abundance. So that's an auspicious card. Then we have many paths, and this is a card about how there's a lot of different ways to look at the same sort of situation. And the example that it gives in the book is that there's these like two stonemasons, and they're basically both laying stones, and they're doing the same thing, you know. But when you ask one of them what he's doing, he's like, yeah, I'm laying stones, whatever, you know. And you ask the other guy, and he's like, I'm building a cathedral, you know, and he's like totally inspired and become part of something that's larger than himself. And so they're like doing the same thing, but they're kind of on different trajectories, you know. And so this is a reminder that there's power in coming into into alignment with something that's bigger than yourself. And even though you could be doing the same thing, like the end point could be really different depending on which path you kind of like align yourself with. So this is a reminder about that. And then we have Taming the Wind. So this is a card about co-creating with the universe, and you know, it has the feather, and this card is really meaningful to me because this was coming up a lot in the week that my father passed away. So in the movie Forrest Gump, there's, you know, Forrest, his mom passes away, and you know, you think that he's kind of held back in life because he's sort of like intellectually challenged, but like actually Forrest like accomplishes all these great things with his life. And the thing is that he was like co-creating with the universe, and that was sort of like how he, you know, overcame everything. And he had like a close relationship with his mom, and even after his mom passed away, it was like whenever he'd be at like some critical decision point or needing some direction in life, there would be this feather, this white feather would fall down from the sky, and he would know that that's the way that he was supposed to go. And so he was like co-creating with the universe, and it was like he was getting messages from his mom, you know. And so in the week that my father died, it was like he was kind of trying to explain to us, you know, that we were still going to be able to be connected, you know, once he crossed over to the other side. And he was talking you know, I kept playing this song for him, and it was this song that meant a lot to him, and they played it at his funeral, and it's this song from the 60s, from the Vietnam era, and it's called Let's Get Together by the Youngbloods, you know, and we kept playing it because this song meant a lot to him, and helped him through helicopter training and all of this, and we kept playing it, and my sister's like, yeah, that's from Forrest Gump, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like it connected us back to this story, you know. And so the way that I'm kind of taking this combination is just like, if you want to reach this, if you want to reach the abundance, you have to like co-create with the universe and become part of something that's larger than yourself, you know. And so it's like by coming into alignment with that, you step into this like ultimate power, you know, and everything is available to you, you know. And so it's just like a reminder, you know, to tap into this and to follow this guidance. And that's kind of the difference between these two paths, you know, is by coming into alignment with this, that's how you're going to reach the abundance. Like, that's the difference between building a cathedral and like just dropping bricks on the ground, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna go now to the Ethereal Visions deck to get some general energies from the reading. But yeah, this is interesting reading. It definitely feels like we're at this big, you know, turning point. It's like everyone's been going through this evaluation with the coronavirus, and we're having to like realign our lives with, you know, with the future and what that means. And so it's like, I feel like a lot of people have gone through this whole process of evaluation, and now it's like starting to take actual tangible steps in what that direction is. Oh, so at the bottom we have the star. So this is a card of healing and a card of wishes coming true. So that's really ominous, you know. And then we have the Page of Pentacles, which is interesting because this is a card about taking tangible steps. It's like you've done this whole process of evaluation and figuring out that, like, okay, we're going to have to like change course to come into alignment with what's going on, you know. And so this is a card of, you know, sort of just taking a baby step in a tangible direction, you know. It's like you've moved out of the realm of thoughts and like contemplation, and you're like, okay, I'm going to take a baby step, you know, and it's just like you're just beginning the journey. And then we have the Six of Swords, and this is a card of like moving on from a bad situation to something better, you know. So it's just like, yeah, obviously with the quarantine and everything that's gone on, everyone's world's gotten shook up, you know. And so it's like we've gone through all this contemplation now, and it's just like we're going to start having to, you know, take steps into this new world. But you know, have faith, because it's like we're moving on from something bad to something better, you know. And then we have the Four of Pentacles. So this is a card of it's kind of like almost like a hoarding card, where you're just like, you're a little bit trapped in fear, you know, because it's like a scarcity. Like you're afraid to let go of what you have, you know, because times are hard and things are scarce, and it's just like, like I've only got so much, like we don't know how long this is going to go on for, like we don't know what's going to happen, like I got to hang on to what I've got, you know. And so that's kind of what this card is about. But like, I think also a message that goes along with that card and goes along with this of coming into abundance, because it fell right under this co-creation card, is that abundance comes from, not from like hoarding and from having like a big stockpile. It comes from being in flow, you know, and being in a state of flow and co-creation with the universe, and being able to trust that, like, what you need is going to be there for you when you need it, you know. So it's interesting because these are kind of like opposite in a way, and they fell like right on top of each other. So I'm going to pull some more cards to get some general energies and see if we can get some more clarity on what's going on. But, you know, I think in general, from looking at this, it's just like, yeah, we've all been going through a big change, and it's not easy, you know, and we're kind of trying to have perspective, you know, but it's just like we can't stay still because the whole world has changed, you know. And so it's like if you hunker down and just like kind of like try to stay the same, like the world's gonna go on, you know, either way. So like you kind of have to stay present in what's going on in order to like get through this moment, you know. I mean, that's pretty clear because the changes that are happening are so profound that, you know, you'll get left behind if you don't adapt, you know. I mean, that's just kind of the reality of where we're at right now. Okay. All right. So, at the bottom we have the Eight of Swords, you know, so there's a lot of anxiety that's happening with everything that's going on. Like it's not an easy adaptation that we're having to go through. So then we have the Five of Cups. So this is a card of loss. And in the traditional deck, it's just sort of like there's 3 cards spilled, but there's actually 2 cups behind you, but you're not seeing it because you're like focused on what's been lost, you know. And so this is kind of like a cautionary tale, you know. It's just like hoarding and like hanging on to what we have and wishing for the past isn't going to help us move through this moment, you know. Like there's this card of abundance here, and like taking a tangible step in the new direction, you know. And that's like you still have 2 full cups behind you, you know. So there's resources, you know, but we're going to have to redirect our resources to kind of be in the flow with the times that we're in, you know. And then we have the Two of Swords. So this is a card of blockage and a card of stalemate, you know. And this falls right under this many paths and like moving on to a better situation, you know. So it's just sort of like, I think what this is saying is just sort of like, it's the whole cautionary tale. Like, are you building at the cathedral, or are you just like laying stones down? Because, you know, that's kind of what's the difference that's like going to carry us through from a bad situation to a better situation, you know. So it's like we got to find inspiration in this moment and like realize that we're part of something that's bigger, you know. I mean, I think a thing that I hear a lot of people saying is, you know, there's this big loss that's happening right now, but like there are also a lot of people that are drawing inspiration from the like change that's being inspired from this moment, you know, because it's just like we have to change, you know. And so like this is an opportunity to change a lot of things that are wrong with the world, you know. And so I think like drawing from that inspiration is what's going to help us move through this moment, because it's hard, you know. It's really hard. Then we have the Judgment card, you know. So this is a card of like a reckoning, you know, where it's just, it's like a card of karma, you know. And it fell right out under this like hoarding versus like co-creating with the universe, you know. And so I think, you know, it's just a moment of like recognizing like this moment is bigger than all of us, and we have to, we're gonna have to accept the guidance from like the universe in order to like move through it, you know, because this is like beyond our comprehension, it's beyond our experience, it's beyond anything that's ever happened before, you know. Excuse me. Okay, so we have the Eight of Wands. So this is a card of like a quick change or a message coming in, and this falls right under these cards, you know. So it's like of like needing to like refocus our energy on what opportunity still remains, in order to like take a tangible step in a new direction, you know. So there's like a message coming in about that. And we have the Ten of Swords, which is a card of just like the end of suffering, like the worst is over, you know. It's just like what we've been through, like everything's like bottomed out, you know. But it's like we got to move through our fears and this blockage, you know, and just accept the loss, you know, and connect with something that's bigger than what's right in front of us, you know, because it's like our passions that are like gonna move us through all these difficulties. And then we have a two of Wands. So this is a card of sort of like kind of like a fork in the road, like you're making a decision, like there's a judgment that's been cast, and like there's a new direction that's kind of like being shown to us, you know. It's like we've taken all this time to like take it in, you know, and now it's like there's a new path that's opening up. So I'm going to go back to ethereal, oh my gosh, ethereal visions to get some guidance about how we're going to move through this moment. Oh my gosh, it's like it. All right, so we've got the Queen of Swords at the bottom. So this is a card of like no nonsense. Like she's like, the Queen of Swords has like been through the ringer. So she's like not putting up with any guff, and she just draws clear boundaries and cuts away stuff that's not serving her, you know. So it's like this is not a time for nonsense. Like there's a lot of tough stuff happening, you know, and we're gonna have to like draw clear boundaries and like, you know, like see a clear path forward to move through this, which is this is the second time we've gotten this card, the Two of Swords, you know. So this is a card of blockage and a stalemate, like, because we can't just be stuck, you know, where we are. Like, look, if you just stay still and you're not present in what's going on, like the world's going to move on without you. So like if you're just going to be stuck here, you're going to get left behind. So this is like, you know, we got to move through this. Like we got to face our fears, and we got to like, you know, like there's no way around this. Like you have to face your fears, you know, and that's going to take strength, because it's not easy. Like, this is not easy, you know, but if you can do this, if you can face your fear and like move through this moment, you're going to be able to put these burdens down, you know. So it's just like, the last reading I did was like, war is over if you want it, you know, and so it's like, overall, like you're moving towards something good, but it's like in order to get there, we're gonna have to like face our fears and work through these really difficult energies, you know, and like we're gonna have to draw inspiration from like some larger vision, you know, because like that's kind of what gets you through these really tough moments, you know. So since this is a pretty difficult reading, I'm gonna pull some cards from like the Dragon Oracle, because these are like, I think this is a new deck that I just got because there was a huge clearance at Hay House, and like I kind of went crazy. But the Dragon Oracle, because dragons are kind of like warriors, you know, and so I mean that's kind of what it's gonna take. It's like this warrior spirit that we're gonna need to like move through all this difficult stuff. And anyway, so I'm gonna pull 2 cards that I think are appropriate for this moment. So first from the Dragon Oracle. Oh, here we go. So we got the Silver Lunar Dragon. Ooh. Before you, it bathes you in divine feminine light. Come into balance and practice peace, harmony, and cooperation. Expand your causal chakra. I'm going to read from the book because this is the Silver Lunar Dragons. Let's see. Silver Lunar Dragon, 90. Ooh, this is one of the special ones. Okay. Here we go. The moon is a portal through which the divine feminine light pours onto Earth. It bathes the planet and more specifically connects to our causal chakra and helps to activate it. Recently, 7th dimensional silver lunar dragons have been able to access this portal and stream into our dimension, particularly when the moon is full. They carry divine light in their energy fields, and their mission is to touch us with it to prepare for the golden future. For 10,000 years, we have been influenced by the masculine. However, in the new golden age, the feminine qualities of peace, harmony, equality, cooperation, love, unity, and wisdom must harmonize with the masculine. So silver lunar dragons are very dynamic now because they're actually bringing about the balance of the yin-yang energy on the planet. As these shimmering dragons touch our causal chakras and enable it to expand, unicorns are able to use the illuminated chakra as a portal to enter the earth and assist our ascension. In this way, the silver lunar dragons serve us and we serve the planet. Wow. So this is all about, it's interesting because my friend Colin, so he has this vegan deli in St. Paul, and we've been talking all about this because this is obviously like a huge shift for everyone in business, and it's like weird because it's like almost like these small community businesses are really getting all this community support and they're kind of thriving in this moment, you know, and it's just, you know, that's like one of the positive takeaways from all the difficulty that's happening. It's like, you know, people are getting passionate about causes and what they believe in, and getting behind that and supporting that. And sometimes it takes, you know, difficult moments for people to like slow down and be like, you know, this means something to me, and so I'm going to support that, you know. And so this energy kind of reminds me of that. It's like drawing inspiration because it's just like becoming part of something bigger than yourself, you know, and like co-creating with the universe, because we all actually are powerful and we can change the world, you know, and it's like during difficult moments sometimes that people are most inspired to do that. So I'm going to pull one more card because this is a difficult moment, and it's called Postcards from Spirit. And it's cool. It's like all these different, like, they're just like postcards, you know, but they're like these messages that are really profound. And I think especially like when you're kind of in a rough moment and you need a little inspiration, like that's kind of how these cards work. So, all right, so this is the message that came out. Dearest you, there are times to get lost but refuse to see your part in things. It happens to everyone. Something feels familiar but sort of off. If you're feeling confused, it's best to throw away that map you're using, which only lets you navigate based on your past experiences. That isn't what you need right now. Instead, take a deep breath and open to the truth. A desire to stay in denial means that part of you doesn't want to be responsible for the pattern that's showing up in your life. Yes, this is the right time to wake up and start again. By the way, you will always get together another chance to have unlimited chances to start again. We love you so much. We really do. Be gentle with yourself. Coming out of denial is like being temporarily blinded by super bright light. Allow your eyes to adjust. Carry on, special one. A beautiful life awaits. So I feel like that's a really positive message to end on. And we'll check back with you soon.